These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, April 15th, and we have officially started the dead period between Celtics regular season and Celtics playoffs. A reminder, leave a like on the video if you're watching on YouTube on How About Them Celtics. We'd appreciate it very much. If you're listening on CLNS, I don't say this, jump on over to How About Them Celtics YouTube channel. Just come say hi to us. We're dropping a lot of content every single day, so you'll get more stuff than what you see on CLNS if that's the only place to listen to us. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics, which would be great. Use code CLNS on Prize Picks for $100 deposit matching. And if you're listening on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts, make sure to follow us there. Leave 5 stars and leave a review. We'd appreciate it very much. Anyways, let's get into kind of Celtics talk. It's pretty much Celtics talk. The Eastern Conference play-in tournament is set. We have Miami traveling to Philly in the 7-8 game, and we have Atlanta traveling to Chicago in the 9-10 game. Celtics still don't know their playoff opponent because, well, the play-in tournament is here. And as much as that's annoying, the play-in tournament's fun. It's a cool idea for the grand scheme of the NBA, but it sucks for the Celtics right now because they don't know who they're playing. They're going to play one of those 4 teams. And let's kind of dive in. We talked about this on Talkin' C's earlier today as we're recording this with Bobby Kravitsky of SI Media Group, the GOAT. Philly, Miami. He is. Come on, respect Bobby. We love Bobby.
Respect.
We got Philly, Miami, and then Chicago, Atlanta. I'm going to start with this, Sam. Does the Chicago-Atlanta game mean anything to you outside of you're going to be rooting for one of those teams to beat the other one?
I think Chicago has a better chance than Atlanta does.
I agree.
So, yes, a little bit. I don't really think either of – I don't know. Even though it's Miami, like if Miami loses to Philly, it does feel like Miami could lose the second playing game. I don't think Philly's going to lose a second playing game. That's just how I feel about it. But Chicago has like the kind of team, they play a ton of close games. Because they play a ton of close games, they're pretty good in close games. If, it's the kind of thing where I really don't like the way that the Celtics let teams win at the end of games. If you're in a close game for the Bulls, you're like, huh, maybe. Yeah, we've been here. We can do it. So sure. I think Chicago could beat Miami. I don't think they would beat Philly. But yes, I will be actively rooting for Chicago to beat Atlanta.
What % chance do you give either of those teams to beat the Sixers or the Heat? We're talking like 10%, 5%? Listen,
it's different team to team. For Philly, it's probably like 10%. For Miami, it's like 30%.
30?
I mean, Miami's almost lost the play-in last year.
I know. It is one game. Chicago. One game series is crazy. Like that is truly anything can happen. Like you say 10%, but like it's one game. Philly could like have a bad game. Like stuff happens all the time. And so,
well, I think if they're going to lose to Miami, then they're going to have a bad game. I don't know if they're going to have 2 bad games in a row.
Well, yeah, I know. But the fact that it is like March Madness style where anything can happen, anything can happen.
6 and 7 last year.
So you think Philly takes down Miami?
Both wishfully and logistically, yes.
I don't know why I have a bad feeling about that game for Philly. I think we always talk about like playoff Jimmy. I think they want the Knicks. I don't think they care who they get. I think that Jimmy will be like, oh, fuck it, we'll take whoever. But I think they would have a legitimate chance in a series against the Knicks. And I think they're smart enough to know like, let's get an opponent, like et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I just think they'll turn it up. And
you think either team feels like they have a better chance against the Celtics? Like, I don't think so. I think they're in the same boat there.
But I'm saying is I trust the Heat more in a postseason game than I trust the Sixers. And if you're going to ever see Jimmy turn it up, I feel like it's going to be now. I don't know. I'm not as I definitely think Philly's going to win. I'm not saying that's what you were saying either, but like I'm watching that game with a fine tooth comb. I think Miami's going to be right there. Like I think it'll be a close game going into the fourth quarter at the very least. Like I think both teams are going to be fighting hard to win that game because like the difference between the Knicks and the Celtics, with all due respect to actually never mind to whatever Andrew, like it's a big difference. Like that's a big difference in the series, in the ability to win a series, and the level of opponent, especially when you consider the injuries that the Knicks have dealt with all season. Like. I'm not even talking about Randall, like getting OG back and like having different guys in and out of the lineup. Like that's not an easy thing to deal with. I don't know. That's gonna be a really good game. Chicago Atlanta doesn't fucking matter, to be frank. Like it is what it is. It'll be interesting to
could.
watch. It could matter. Hey, like you said, I'm gonna be rooting for whoever wins that game to beat the other one. Like I'm gonna be a big fan for a day.
Celtics
DeMar
ball play back
DeRozan.
Friday. We'll
DeMar
be there.
DeRozan 50. Hey, the DeMar DeRozan 50 ball on Friday is gonna feed families. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That'd be unbelievable if they beat whoever it is. Imagine if Philly lost both games.
Hey man, the electric.
Philly
'Cause
hasn't
then-
lost since Embiid came back, but yeah, they're gonna lose 2 straight.
If Miami or Chicago wins that second playoff game, the Celtics playoff path to the finals will be one of Chicago or Atlanta and then one of Orlando or Cleveland to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
How does that sound to you, Sam?
This is why we play.
This is why
This is the hopefully most Mickey Mouse walk, even though it should have been last year too. Mickey Mouse walk to the conference finals / finals that you could ever have. Now you really only have to play hopefully one real team along the way. Not bad. Not bad at all. This is why you get the one seed. But I mean, yeah, exactly. Like the problem is we can't get that excited until Wednesday after Philly's in that final game. It's a little bit more nerve-wracking.
I know.
Not that I think they're going to lose to Philly, and I know you don't think they're going to lose to Philly, but Philly's a better team. They've had a better record when Embiid has played. They haven't lost since he came back. So you could really hear a lot of, it's going to become the trendy thing for that team
totally get
to be picked against the Celtics, and it's going to annoy me.
My whole thing is this Celtics team, which is far different than Celtics teams of year past, has made their brand of find a matchup, pick on the matchup, win the game. I think that is going to go from maybe 60% of their offense in the regular season to 80%, 90% of their offense in the postseason. And of all the teams, I'll just say it. Tyrese Maxey is going to get fucking bullied. He's just going to get bullied the whole series. No, if he is on the court, the Celtics are going to do this. It's going to be Derek White or Jayson Tatum or whoever dribble the ball up. Whoever Maxey is on, dribble the ball up the court because everybody in the Celtics roster is at least capable of running a simple pick and roll this season. That's the great thing about the development of Jaylen Brown. Everybody can do it. No matter who Maxey's on, they're going to bring fucking Porzingis over. And if Philly doesn't switch, then whoever has the ball is going to get a free lane to the rim and make a play from there. And if they do switch, Porzingis is going to have Maxey on him, and then you're fucked. That is, I think this is going to happen.
Pull up the clip. You want to show the people what's going to happen to Maxey?
Yes. Do you know what I'm
can
saying,
show
though?
What's going to happen to Maxey.
That's what the Celtics have done all season. And so if you do it again, this is what's going to happen to Maxey. Let me pull it up.
This is what will happen to Maxey in the playoffs. Pick and roll against Porzingis switch. Easy.
Easy bucket. That is what the Celtics have done all season. And Tyrese Maxey might be one of the easiest guys to pick on the defense in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Truly.
Tyrese Maxey, who basically said he gets up to play the Celtics.
Yeah, not very well. Not very well, he doesn't. I'm pretty sure. Let me take a look here.
Didn't he play decent in that last game that we were both at?
Tyrese Maxey stats against Celtics. In 13 games, he did put up 32 on February 27th.
Yeah.
But in 13 games against the Celtics, he averages 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he does not shoot particularly well from the field. So, sure, he's been all right, but and in the playoffs last year, he didn't do much. He didn't do much in the playoffs last year. I like Tyrese Maxey a lot. I'm just saying the Celtics.
Well, he's sitting next to Harden.
I know.
Well, Harden said, "Look at these sick dribbles."
It built the brand of basketball, no matter how they get there, picking on matchups, and he's an easy matchup. And to be frank, most of the players in their lineup are going to be easy matchups comparatively to who they're guarding. Like Tatum has bullied Tobias Harris for 2 years now in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Tobias Harris have a good season. It's the Celtics. I think the matchups work well for the Celtics in that series, and vice versa. You stick Derek White on Tyrese Maxey and Tatum or Brown on Tobias Harris. I'm feeling okay. And I just think the Celtics have a better system of how to pick apart the Sixers than vice versa, especially considering the Celtics have Al Horford, who has, made Joel Embiid his son for the past 4 years. Just has.
You know, it's one thing that is going to sound ridiculous when I say it, but probably makes a difference is no PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker has done a really good job guarding Tatum in the last couple seasons, both with Philly and then in Miami. He's not there anymore. Who guards Tatum? Who are they going to Oubre?
Harris. Let me see. Sorry,
Not
I
to
have to hit
mention
my
Buddy
mic.
Hield is out there.
Yeah, dude. This is what I'm saying. Their defense is not.
Maybe I'm feeling a little bit better.
You know what I'm saying? Let me look up.
And Embiid is probably not 100%. After seeing his knee flare up again on Sunday, I really can't believe that he's gonna feel 100%.
Mm-mm.
Or not Sunday,
Let me
Friday.
take a look. Who has
He's a sad
guarded?
Sunday.
Who has guarded Tatum this year? For Philly, it's been Tobias Harris, and he's done an okay job in the games they played this season. But yeah, it's going to be Tobias Harris on Tatum, which
I mean, Philly
I
did
feel
beat
okay.
the Celtics earlier this year. They did. Beat them right
They
at the
did.
beginning of the season.
What did they finish? 3-1 against Philly this year?
Yes, but Embiid played 2 games and the Celtics split those.
Sure. Okay. I don't know, but somebody didn't play in that game that Embiid played in.
I don't think Derek White played.
No. I think it was. Did KP not play?
No, maybe he didn't play.
It was the one in Philly. I think KP
Yeah, because
and Jalen didn't play.
Horford had a really good game.
Yeah.
You're right.
Who was it?
And Jalen didn't play.
Yeah, there was like the Celtics only had half their lineup. Let me check a look. I just want to fact check myself because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was no. Porzingis did play in the game they lost. It was no Al. Oh, it was just no Al. They had the starting. Oh no, it was Al. No, everybody played. Okay, yeah, we're mixing up Philly games. Everybody played in this game. Our bad. Regardless, I don't know. I feel okay. That's all I'm saying. I'm feeling pretty okay about Celtics chances. They lost that game
Miami?
3 for what it's worth. I feel good against Miami too. Kristaps Porzingis is a
Well,
game changer.
The game they lost by 3. They were down like 18 and almost
They
came all
were.
the way back.
Exactly. But they did almost come all the way back. They did in fact almost come all the way back. And
But they
if
were
we really
down
want to do it,
significant amount of points
they were.
with like 3 minutes left. It's not even like it was a prolonged like respect hustle comeback. It was more like this game is over. Oh wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Please, like let's start trying again, Philly.
And they
That was
almost
the
did
kind
it.
of comeback. Yeah.
They almost did it though. And they were one missed call away. Remember, Sam? The refs screwed them.
Oh, the Embiid foot on the line out of bounds. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
you're right. I
You know what
forgot
I'm
about that. That was a heater of a video because everyone was mad. They were like, "Shut up."
That was the crazy Derek White shot too. I forgot that shot happened. Do you remember the crazy Derek White shot? Yeah, he had
No.
it was PJ Tucker in the game, and PJ Tucker fouled him, but they called off the foul. He had a 4-point play.
Oh, yes.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, I want to find it now because that was a crazy.
Well, if they called it off, then good luck.
That was an insane make. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. But
You're not gonna be able to find it.
no. But yeah, man, I don't know. I feel good about Philly. I feel even better about Miami for what it's worth. I think Kristaps is a game changer. I'm never, ever, ever gonna count out Jimmy Butler in a playoff series, but Kristaps Porzingis has completely changed the way the two teams have played each other. He's added another level to it. Bam hasn't really been able to find an answer for Kristaps.
Heard him,
but
twice
it's true.
in Miami. Kristaps
Miami floor.
Yeah.
So it's true.
I want to stick on this just for a little bit because playing Miami is a different beast. It's the team that beat you last year. They upset you. It wasn't a series. I thought the Celtics would lose once they got past Philly. I was like, okay, let's coast to the finals. Easy work. Then they lose the first 2 games at home. Regardless of which team they play, win your home games. Come out, set the tone. Make sure everybody knows, no bullshit. You're coming out to play this year. You can't have any kind of hope instilled in this opposing team. You can't do it, especially Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Miami is a team that feeds off that shit. If you come out and you punch them twice, if they go down 0-2, do you really think they're going to punch back? Has this Jimmy Miami team ever come back from 2-0? I don't know. I don't think a lot of teams come back from 2-0, whatever, for what it's worth. But I feel like they haven't.
That's a good
when they
question.
beat the Celtics in 2020, they won the first game. When they beat them last year, they took the first 2 games. When they lost in 23, they split the first 2 games. They really just don't have to come back from 2-0 down. And if you guys have an example in the comments, please tell us. But off the top of my head, I don't remember them as a huge comeback team. Once they get you, they will continue to punch and punch and punch and punch. But if you just don't let them get started, it's going to be even more difficult for them to get a leg up on you.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think, like you said, winning the home games is important, and I think the Celtics have done a good job of treating it as such this year. So credit to them. I also just looked back at that Philly game, and I can't find the white shot, so I think we might be mixing up games again. But it was the one where Porzingis had a shot up with like 3 seconds
Correct.
left.
It's hit the
tie
front of the
game.
rim, front down, just barely
I
hit
feel
it.
good, man. I think the Celtics have proven themselves, but I think there's a healthy level of confidence and not taking stuff for granted, as we talked about on Talk and Seas. Like they know the mission, but they're not treating it as if it's already finished. They know what's in front of them, and I think they have the correct mindset. And credit to Joe Mazzulla for instilling that in them. I think they're ready for this, and
They have done about as good of a job as they possibly could, making me feel okay. You did a great job today. I was very nervous. I was driving up here. I'm in Maine for the finals game, which we'll recap in a bit.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, no. I was listening to Pardon My Take and Big Cat and Max, who are respectively Bulls and Sixers fans. We're talking to Hank, who's a Celtics fan. And I was like, oh, no. It's already starting. I'm getting nervous. Not about the Bulls. Not nervous about the Bulls. But I was like, if they get Philly, this is going to suck. Because then the stakes get higher. Then it's all, not only is it like the worst thing ever to lose in the first round, but you do it to a rival. Terrible. All right, we can move on. Enough about me crying.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Drew Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Drew Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Let's do some NBA award predictions, and we're gonna put it the lead with should Tatum be on All-NBA first team, and let me just let me spoil it for you. Yes, yes, he should be. I'm sorry, Knicks fans. I'm sorry, Andrew. The entire point is good individual season combined with team success. I think that's the perfect mix. Tatum has the same, if not better, stats than Brunson on a team that is 14 games better. So I don't get the case. And I love Brunson. You know I love Brunson. You like Brunson. He's a great player. He's fun. He's great, and he's amazing at basketball.
I have sneakily soured on Brunson. Because of last week, but it was brought to my attention via Twitter that he is a free throw merchant. He does the Trae Young veer.
Oh yeah.
Stop and get fouled.
Yeah, big time.
A little bit dishonorable.
Fair enough. I don't get the case for Brunson over Tatum. It just let me take a look. Let's pull up the stats.
While you pull it up, I have seen some interesting spins to this, where it actually is not Tatum who gets bumped, but it is Giannis who has let the Bucks and been a part of the Bucks dumpster fire. And you said it to start this, Jack. You said it's the stats and individual team success. The Bucks underachieved.
Yes, but it is team success. But I think it's unfair. Not unfair, but I don't think it's complete. I don't think it's completely fair to base team success relative to expectations, because Giannis and the Bucks and the Knicks had the same team success, and Giannis had better stats. That's just it's period. That's it. And the thing that people fail to count
Giannis does have more coaches fired than Brunson.
This is true. But the thing that people fail to account for, I'm not saying you're doing this, defense is just thrown out the window when we have these conversations. Both Tatum and Giannis have had, respectfully, just far better defensive seasons than Jalen Brunson have. They're far better defenders than Jalen Brunson is. They just are, and that's like obviously it's not like you can't say defense is everything. Like you can't put Drew Holiday or Derek White over Jalen Brunson on first team, even though it'd be kind of cool. But I feel like defense gets thrown out the window when we have these conversations.
I mean, I think it definitely does. I think that the hype behind Brunson right now is pretty unstoppable too, especially after the Knicks just captured the 2 seed. Bucks kind of gave it up / choked it away, and now they're going to have a. I mean, you want to talk about the playing game? Oh, this is like my heaven. The Knicks either have to play Philly or Miami. Whew, that'd be great. But he has done a great job leading that team, helping them overachieve. I mean, 50 wins is a banner for the Knicks fans. Literally, like they were so happy that they won 50 games. They didn't even care about the prospects of playing either one of those teams that could eliminate them in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Like, let's look. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, you're done.
What he has like been able to help them do with overachieving, it does feel like it has more weight to it than Giannis. I don't know. I think the achievement part of it has more of an impact on me than you, and that's fine. That's why different people have different opinions. But I think if you're gonna like really consider team success as one of the things, you have to relatively consider it too, because Halliburton is a guy that does not get thrown around for a first team All NBA, but does get thrown around for one of the All NBA teams, despite kind of falling off a cliff after getting hurt. While there are other guys around the league that may be more deserving. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't have a list, which makes me sound real dumb. Sorry, comments. But they overachieved. I don't think anybody expected the Pacers to be out of the play-in this year. I thought their next step would be to get into the play-in, maybe make some noise. And also, they went to the in-season tournament final, which is kind of good considering, I mean, nobody expected them to be there. They beat the Celtics. He deserves some credit because they overachieved. I think, and it's mainly him. And it's the same with Brunson. Brunson, the spearhead, the head of the snake in New York, where they have overachieved.
Yeah. Listen, I love Brunson. I've said this. Like, he's averaged effectively 2 more points, fewer rebounds, more assists, but it's like 7 and 4 versus 8 and 5. Like if you want to flip the rebounds and assists, Tatum's averaged more steals, more block. The efficiency is almost equal for field goal. Brunson is shooting better from 3.
Not saying much,
but like these stats, I don't think outweigh a 14-game lead in the Eastern Conference. Is all I'm saying. Like that is my biggest thing. They don't outweigh a 14-game lead in the Eastern Conference, which Tatum does not get nearly enough credit for. People are just like, he's carried. Guys, he's the best player on the fucking team. Like, come on. Like, let's be real here. As much as he has a great team around him, come on. What are we doing?
The funny thing about this is Andrew Claudio of the Knicks Tape Pod wanted to talk about this with me. And, I mean, you know this, Jack. I really couldn't care less. I want to see them win a title. I don't really care if Tatum gets first team All NBA or not. I know it's a talking point and it's absolutely worth discussing because it's a major award that does affect a lot of these guys' salaries, contracts, etc. But his case was like efficiency, like all the stats are there. But the fact that Tatum is on a 14-game plus winning team says a lot about his sacrifice. Like they had to. Like, he could put up better stats if they sucked. Yeah. But no, he has to work with the teammates. He's part of a team. It's not a one-man show, nor should it be. And also,
if we want to do the Giannis thing, like, respectfully, what are we doing? Like, come on. Guys, they have the same record. The Knicks have won 1 more game, but Giannis is averaging more points, more rebounds, 0.2 fewer assists, more steals, more blocks, more efficient. Obviously, Brunson's a better 3-point shooter, better box plus minus, better value over. Like, guys, please, what are we doing?
I hope Brunson doesn't get it, so all the Knicks fans get really mad.
He's not going to
feel slighted.
And for what it's worth, and tell me if I'm wrong. There's no what's it called? Positions anymore. But I think the All NBA first team is cut and dry. Jokic, Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka, and Tatum. I don't think there is an argument. I think Tatum is the closest thing to an argument he can find, and he's on a 64-win team. That is the first team, in my opinion. I think it just is. Any objections?
Jokic is the MVP. Shai's second. But behind that, I don't really care. And those two are a lock. I think Tatum should be on there because they've won a bunch of games. He's sacrificed. He's been a good teammate, etc. To me, Giannis is just hot seat. I don't know. The underachieving gets me. And Luka's team has done well enough to where I can't really be like empty
Luka
stats as much.
Luka won more games than the Bucks this year,
Yeah.
which is crazy when you think about it. They won 50 games. They won 50 and 32. And Luka, I mean, I know you say my career, but like they won 50 games, and his stat line is fucking insane. Like he's averaged 34, 9, and 10 on 49, 38 splits. Like that's crazy. So respect to him. It was a good season. But I think when you get to second team and third team is when it starts to get wild. And for what it's worth, I do think Jalen Brunson is pretty clearly second team. The fact that there's even an argument for him to be on first team means I think he should be on second team. Past that,
absolutely.
I don't really know where you want to go. Like we can look
just think in my head. I don't think Dame is there.
Here are the standings. We want to look at like best teams and who should be on it. I'm switching screens here. I don't know. Anthony Edwards probably second team.
Yes.
I mean the
Kawhi, Paul George season. Probably too.
Which one?
At least one of them.
Have they both played enough games? That's a good question. Kawhi played, excuse me, 68 games, so he did reach it. So I do think it'll be him. Yeah, I think Kawhi is second team, and Paul George played 78, so they're both on it. But okay,
they both be in.
Both on second team?
I don't know.
I don't know about second team.
Does Zion get in? Did he miss a lot of time?
Zion played. My computer's moving slow because I have a million tabs open. Zion played 70 games, yes, and then Durant played. Durant played 75. Booker played 68, so they're all eligible. I mean, Jalen, I think is a case. I think he'd probably go to third team, but I think there's a case for him on second team. Are we missing anybody in the East? Jimmy, maybe. I don't think Jimmy played enough games, actually.
Donovan Mitchell missed a lot of games.
I think he got enough, though.
Did he get enough? Okay, maybe him.
I think. It's close. No, he played 55. You're right. No Donovan Mitchell.
Garland missed a bunch of time.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in the Cavs played enough games.
Embiid missed too much time. Does Maxey get on one of these teams?
I think he might. Even though they're on the play-in, he played in 70 games, so he is eligible. Who was I checking next? I don't think anybody in the Heat played enough games, right? Jimmy played 60. Bam played 71, so Bam is eligible too. That's
like a third team guy. Sabonis, third team guy.
Yeah, Sabonis could get second team. Sabonis had a phenomenal season, but
I think there's no positions, and now you got all these other guys where it's like. Yeah.
I think is it just Durant, Zion?
Yeah,
Durant,
Kawhi,
Zion?
Durant, maybe Zion, Anthony Edwards, and Brunson, right? And then you have the third team, and you can put Paul George,
Jaylen Brown,
probably Jalen,
Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Bam Adebayo.
Bam.
Does Paolo get on?
I don't know.
That's a bit too iffy. I think.
Halliburton get on? Did he miss too many games?
Halliburton played 69 games, so he is eligible. Nice. I think probably one or both of the Lakers unfortunately make a team. Unfortunately for you, but they won as much as they are
the games.
I know as much as they are in the play-in tournament, they did win like 46 games. Like that is actually a pretty good season. That would
47.
Put them. I guess they'd still be playing. They won 47. They won 47. I think Sabonis would probably be third team. I think LeBron would be as well. Or Davis. This is tough, man. That would leave like. Yeah, so this is what we have written, and this is. Davis is off.
Davis is in over Bam.
Okay, I'm with it. So both the Lakers there. I think the questions now are: does Steph make it over Paul George or Jalen?
Steph, Jalen's in.
Steph averaged 26, 4, and 5. Excuse me, on 45, 41 splits. Played 74 games. Is he getting over Paul George?
Sabonis might get the boot, to be honest with you.
No Kings in NBA. So Steph over him. I'm not disagreeing.
The Kings
with you.
are ninth.
I know. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I think Steph's in over Sabonis.
Steph's in over Sabonis. Do you think Paul George and Kawhi get on?
Yeah, I think
Paul
so.
George.
I think the Clippers have been like a sneaky surprise.
They have, but they've sucked over the last like 20 games. They're like 10-10 in their last 20 games. He averaged 23, 5 and 3. It's pretty good. Does Tyrese Maxey get in over Paul George? I think that's the last or Devin Booker.
I don't think Phoenix was good enough for two guys, as both Lakers make it.
Yeah, that's. We can settle here, I guess. I think Paolo Halliburton. We didn't even put on either. This is tough, man. This could be a crapshoot. I think
Halliburton fell off a cliff, though.
I think Jalen deserves to be on the team because of how good the Celtics are and his contributions, but I think he could unfortunately get snubbed. But I'm happy to leave it here.
Shocks me at this point.
I'm happy to leave it here. I easily put Maxey or Halliburton over Paul George, but I think this is pretty good. We can do all defense quick too. We can rapid fire that, but I think that is the All NBA teams.
Derek White,
first team.
Oh man, this is where it gets hard. It's very niche.
I know, right?
It's gonna be a lot of did this guy play enough games?
All defensive second team.
Does Caruso get on?
I don't know.
Gobert has to be on this team.
Yeah, I think Rudy Gobert. As crazy as it is, I think Wembanyama's first team too. Yeah, I know he's bad.
He's gonna get on one of these teams because they have to change the entire way they play defense.
I know,
offense when he's on the floor.
And for Sam to say Wembanyama, who had one of the worst defenses in the league, should be on a team, that's how you know he's an impactful defensive player. I think Derek White should be on first team. Hot take. I think Drew should be on first team and Derek should be on second team. I think Drew had an incredible defensive season.
Why not both?
I think both should, but I only think one will be. So you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, it's ours. I'll put them both. I think they both deserve it.
Who beats them off?
Pause. Let me look at. I'm trying to think of top defenses. I think Chet might actually be on a team. As crazy as that sounds, it's really tough. Let me look at other I want to see other.
Dame.
Can't see. Shut the fuck up. All defensive team. I just want to look other predictions to see who people have. I think. Do you know who should be on the second team? Jalen Suggs has had a crazy.
Suggs is somebody that deserves a nod. He's done Marcus Smart work for the Magic.
Mm-hmm. He's been great. Man, I think.
Does Anunoby get on one of these teams? Did he miss too much time?
I think he missed too many games. Or else he would be.
Kawhi has to get on one of these teams.
He played in 50 games. Kawhi, maybe, yeah. Let me look at
Anthony Davis probably gets on one of these teams.
Mm-hmm. That's a good
Giannis probably gets on one of these teams.
I think Anthony Davis here, yes. Yeah, I'll put him on second team for now. I want to look at top defenses in the league. Timberwolves, they have Rudy. Celtics have a couple. Magic, Thunder. Is it Shea or is it Chet? Who do you think?
Shea is a sneaky stats defender.
Does Dort get on? Bam's first team. I think Bam's the last first team. Bam's.
Are these both positionless now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything's positionless now.
Just all big guys.
Yeah, we got big guys and two guards.
Worst spacing of all time.
Pelicans were a top 6 defensive team. Herb Jones
should be on one of these teams. Maybe he knocks one of the big guys back or one of the Celtic guards back.
Do we put Herb Jones first team over one of Holiday or White?
Yeah.
Or do we leave it?
Slide White back. Why not?
Okay. And then past that, I know we're definitely forgetting people.
All NBA.
I think this is more fun than All NBA though, because this is the stuff that people don't get to appreciate. Because everyone fucking knows, Jalen Brunson, lots of stats, but no one knows. I don't know. I enjoy this. I think Shea deserves.
Does Jared Allen get on one of these teams?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's a great call. Jared Allen's been awesome. We have one spot left, and I feel like we're forgetting somebody. I'm looking at these. I'm looking at an all defensive thing and trying to see who picked, who they picked. I'm trying to find.
It's funny. The West doesn't have a ton of what's his name? McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels. Yeah. Jaden McDaniels is a good call. That means, guys, we left Lou Dort is a name that we could have on there. We don't have a Thunder player, yeah. Lou Dort has a good shout. I think Lou Dort should probably be in a team. Caruso. Lou Dort, Caruso. Kawhi. We didn't
This
put
is a
Kawhi
mess.
either. I know.
Scrap it. Scrap it all.
Do we plant our flag here? I think we plant our flag here.
Plant the flag.
Plant the flag. All right. So for all NBA teams, we got Jokic, Giannis, Shea, Luka, Tatum. Second team, Brunson, Anthony, Edwards, Kawhi, Durant, Zion. Third team, PG, Jalen, Anthony Davis, Curry, and LeBron. Defensive teams, first team, we got Rudy, Wemby, Drew, Herb, and Adebayo. Second team, we got Suggs, Davis, Derek White, Jared Allen, and Jaden McDaniels. That's the How About Them Celtics. All NBA and all defense. I think these are much cooler and more fun awards than the actual awards themselves because Jokic is the MVP, Rudy's the Defensive Player of the Year, Wemby's the Rookie of the Year. Nothing else fucking matters. That's just how it is. Welcome. And Mark Dagnall already won the Coach of the Year, so we don't know who that's going to be, but that's some indicator right there. Okay, I think that's good. I think we covered those. Next thing, Sean Grande tweeted out a bunch of stats about the Celtics season. This is quick, but I'm just going to read the stats and we can react. These are all the crazy stats from the Celtics season per Sean Grande. 64 wins, best record in the NBA, won the Eastern Conference by 14 games, which is the largest NBA conference win margin since 76. 11.34 scoring margin, win margin of victory, which is the fifth best ever. 15.22 margin of victory at home, which is the third best ever. 1.22 points per possession, which is the best offense ever. 1,351 threes, the second most ever. 37 home wins, which is third in franchise history and the most in the NBA in 8 years. Won or tied the season series with 28 of 29 teams. Denver's the other one, which whatever. We'll get there when we get there.
Not ideal.
We'll get there when we get there. NBA's best home record at 37-4, the fewest road losses, 14, and best record in back-to-backs, 12-2. Clinched a playoff spot 17 days before any other team. Clinched the NBA's best record before 12 teams clinched a playoff spot. Longest losing streak was 2 games. More 30-point leads, 17, than 10-point deficits, 16. NBA record 17 25-point wins, an NBA record 10 30-point wins, 19 20-point wins, and only one 20-point loss. Wire-to-wire wins, they had 10 of them, and only one wire-to-wire loss, and 1,182 opponent free throws, which is the fewest in NBA history. So a historical season for the Celtics. What was their wire-to-wire loss?
Bucks? Or
Yeah. One of the two. You're probably right. Yeah. Okay. Damn. What a season.
Good season.
It's insane. Good season.
Yeah.
Now it starts over.
We'll see. We'll see if it's a good season.
Now we start over.
The best part is none of that means anything if they don't win. It means absolutely nothing.
Woo!
My favorite one of these, I think the 3-point one. The second most threes in NBA history. It's like them and then a bunch of other teams that didn't win the title, but were very good.
Oh man, is just a lot of Jazz teams?
No, it's like last year's team, last year's Warriors.
I guess that's kind of fake though.
Warriors.
I guess it's kind of fake though, just because
more threes are new.
Yeah. That said, somebody asked Joe. I think it was Abby Chin asked Joe, does that mean something to you? And he just goes, no.
No.
He goes, no.
Respect. Yes. Good job.
He was just we're just focused. He goes, I don't think I effectively was I don't think I am a big 3-point guy. I'm just get the best shot guy. And because of our offense, a lot of the best shots we get are threes. And by the math, it's just threes. And so I don't think I am obsessed with threes. I'm obsessed with getting the best shot possible. And a lot of the times it's a 3, which fair enough. But all right, let's kick it over to a recap of the Maine Celtics Game 3, win or lose. I know you're going to be there, but let's.
I'll be here in the Expo, one of the two.
All right, we are here after Maine Celtics OKC Blue Game 3 G League Finals. Oklahoma City winning 117-100 in what was pretty much a blowout after the second quarter. Winning the G League Championship, Ousmane Dieng won the Finals MVP. Sam, you were there. How were the vibes? Because I can't imagine, based on the game, that it was amazing.
You know what's funny, and was one of my biggest takeaways from the experience as a whole. The people up here were really excited about this.
They were into
And
it.
they were into it, and I think they're a really good crowd. They kind of stayed behind the team even when they went down 30. And I don't know if it's because it's a smaller gym, but it was loud in there pretty much the whole game. They really believed in these guys quite a bit. Woman behind me would not stop screaming about them shooting threes. Respect, respect. Um, but yeah, tough to see this group go out that way. Coach Miller talked to the press after the game. He had a lot of positive things to say about them. Really talked a lot about the group as a whole, good character. And you could tell he was really, really bummed to see it go out in that fashion. And he didn't even really feel his guys give a bad effort. He really just felt like OKC came out and shot the lights out, which they did. They went on a huge run. What was it? 21-0 to end the
26
first
nothing.
half. 27-0. Even worse. And listen, they were just not missing. You would not believe this was a G League team the way they were shooting the basketball. There are little intricacies within a game, though, when you watch up here. You're kind of like, maybe this is why it's the G League. A lot of one-touch shots when the Celtics were flailing. Like, they were not getting paint touches. They weren't driving. OKC threw a zone at them at one point, and they didn't know what to do against it. A lot of guys were leaving their feet, making passes, and then the defenders were just jumping the lanes, getting free steals. The way that this team unraveled was so unbelievably fast, and it was just, before you knew it, the game was over. And it sucked. It sucked because, like I said, the juice in the building was there. You could tell the group really got along. It was tough to see these guys take the podium after because you could tell they were heartbroken. And this, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the G League. It's not something that the franchise is really hanging a banner for. But they were there. They were up $1 billion in the game one. They go into game two with a chance to close it out. They don't do it. And they come back home and get blown out. It's got to hurt. JD Davison he wasn't like crazy emotional, but you could tell like he was pretty beat up.
I think they would have hung a banner. They would have hung a banner for this. Don't disrespect the Portland.
No. What I mean is like the big franchise, like Celtics.
Yeah, but this meant something.
They would have celebrated it. You're absolutely right.
This team is like, obviously I wasn't there, but this team has been very like close knit, very hyped up, like you saw in the earlier games. Like DJ Stewart was pumped, right? They got guys ready to win, like Kada, Peterson, Walsh, and Davison have been up there all season. They've been ready to rock. They've been into it, and it sucks to see him go out like this in what was a pretty, like you said, huge blowout. The Celtics just didn't hit their shots. I caught most of the game after the start of the first quarter, and it was just OKC Blue getting.
Was it your fault?
What do you mean?
Sounds like as soon as you turned it on, everything went to shit.
No, they were winning, and then I turned it back on, and then they were down by a lot. So they lost the game when I was not watching.
Noah believes she sat in the same seat all 9 times she had come up here prior to today, and we had different seats because it was the final game. There was the Avengers were here, and Noah had to sit with me in the crowd, and maybe that's why they lost.
Chris, maybe you're the problem. You ever think of that?
It could be me. My negativity could have brought the team down. Absolutely. Could be my bad. But no. I mean, you could tell that the group itself was tight-knit. Again, Coach had a ton to say about the growth as these guys, as not only players, but he talked about as people. That was something he really stressed during his press conference. He was an excellent interview with all the media members. I mean, I didn't really ask anything, but he had a lot of tremendous things to say about these guys, and I'll end up writing about it tonight. It's still an achievement that they got to where they're at. It's the first time Maine has ever done this. And the G League, really what I meant before, is not necessarily about winning titles. It's about getting better. And the consensus was that these guys got a lot better. Like JD Davison is somebody that definitely got better this year. RJ will tell you in the comments, that man has been putting up assist numbers like crazy. He's been scoring. He's been the guy for this team. Jordan Walsh has kind of developed into a role that he would be able to play in the NBA. somebody like Drew Peterson has a really great shot creating ability here. Even guys like Wieskamp, who just plays up here, he doesn't swing up to Boston, had a pretty good game today, and he tried to right the ship there at the end a little bit. He had like an 8-0 run by himself. They have a lot of character up here, and it's good that they're bleeding that down into the depths of the franchise because, it's what being a Celtic is about, whether it's in Maine or Boston. These guys do have a true feel for that fight, the growth, the personality. It's a pretty cool thing they have going on up here. Tough to see it end, though.
Pump fake me. I was gonna ask, did anybody surprise you that you hadn't seen? Like, obviously, Kata, Peterson, Walsh, Davis to some degree, but was anybody like, oh wow, that guy can play? Or is it?
Well,
all just,
who I was aware of, but I hadn't really thought about much for a while. I did write the Celtics blog article on Kyler Kelly before the season when they signed him to a training camp deal. He's a pretty solid player. Noah was telling me he's the starter here when Nemi is up with the Boston Celtics. And I don't think it's been the easiest adjustment for him to have to take a back seat every once in a while. But he looks good. He's athletic. He's great on the roll. He's aggressive. He cuts hard. He blocks shots. He's the leading shot blocker on the team. And I don't know, if you get him a little bit stronger, I think he's somebody that could have a small role in the NBA. Just in the way that somebody like Luke does, where he's defending the rim. He's able to be a good roll man, put the ball in the basket around the rim. He looked pretty impressive to me. I was a fan of his.
I've heard good things about him. I know RJ spoke highly of him. Looking at this now, DJ Stewart had a rough game.
A lot of these guys just had a rough game. Like, I don't think anybody really shot the ball well.
Well, like Drew Peterson 6-15 is not great. 4-10 is not great from Walsh. JD Davison 9-19, but DJ Stewart 2-12 is that's not great. That's really
Those are game numbers.
Yeah, that's a tough one because he had been really good. I know he was good in game 1. He was big for them. I don't know about game 2, but that's a tough way to go out.
Yeah, couple other layers to this. Jordan Walsh, ankle hurt early in the game. Coach confirmed it to all of us afterwards, and they had to sit him to start the second half because he was just a little bit limp, wasn't feeling great. That was a blow to their momentum. And then Nemi was sick today. Nemi was not feeling well. He did not play a lot of minutes. I'm sure there were posts on Twitter about it. I know Noah was talking quite a bit about it. He only played like 15 minutes, had 8.7 rebounds. I mean, still solid numbers, but nothing compared to what he was doing earlier when he wasn't really dealing with any sickness. So very, very inopportune time for those guys to both not be at 100%. Two guys that are a big part of this team. Of course, Walsh isn't as big of a part as Kata is, who's been unbelievably dominant. He looks like prime Shaq up here. But to not have that force inside is kind of tough. OKC was also getting anything they wanted. Obviously, if you're on a 27-0 run, that's kind of the story of it. But it felt like everything was easy for them, even in the stretches where Maine tried to punch back. OKC always had an answer. It was always like a quick bucket. They were getting in the paint really easy, and that was the big difference between the two sides. Everything the Celtics got was tough. It was just a tough game. Everything they had to earn. Not Maine. OKC didn't necessarily have to earn a whole lot.
It's brutal, man. I was watching the game, and there was just bounce after bounce after bounce at the rim. OKC Blue making just anything for him. And I mean, when Ousmane Dieng shoots 5 of 6 from 3, it's going to be a tough one.
There was one floater in particular. I think DJ Stewart was the one that shot it. I don't know if I've ever seen a shot go so far down and then rattle out. It was just, it was in the dread of the game when they had nothing going. It was like, okay, all right, kind of getting a couple to go in a row, and then all the way down and out. I was like, yeah, maybe not their night.
It's tough. That's tough. Yeah, I mean, just a brutal way to end what was a really good Maine Celtics season, the best Maine Celtics season ever. I think it's by how far they won the playoffs. This is as far as they've ever been. So, any final thoughts? I know you were there, so I'll let you wrap it up if you got anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo that. Really, really good season. They got everybody to care, which is pretty impressive for a G League team. Not meant to be insulting, but it's truly an accomplishment when you're able to fill the place like it was full today. The amount of people that were there, people excited to see this team play, the energy that was there, the Celtics coaching staff was there, Brad was there, Wick was there. There was a ton of support from the organization, from the fan base, and those guys really shouldn't beat themselves up over that. I hope they don't too much. It kind of sucked during the pressers. you could hear the other team celebrating pretty loud. It was not something you could hide from. But yes, solid season. Hope that the Maine guys can grow from this.
Very tough. Sorry to Maine, but we'll get on to the rest of the pod. All right. Hopefully, we were coming back after a Maine Celtics victory, because if not, it's going to be a very short, very not fun segment. But,
Hey, they lost.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not the same as what's going to happen to our boys.
We shall see. But let's jump over to the email here. A reminder: comment what's popping on the podcast for a chance to win a $10 Incognito gift card. And you know what? Be like RJ. Be like RJ. Do what RJ does and send us an email. We'd appreciate it very much. Let me switch to the pod account. I was on my real email. I'm not going to share that screen.
Oh, pull it up.
We got 2 emails from RJ here. The first one being, my computer's moving so slow because I have so many tabs open.
We still got all the stat head tabs open from Talking
I think
C's?
so. No, I think I'm
tabs.
uploading Talking C's right now is what's happening. Why it's slow.
Oh, okay.
From RJ, what's popping? Now the fun begins. Evening, gents. 64-18 is not a
You
bad
call
way
it fun.
to wrap the regular season. Another good game from the Stay Ready crew against a Washington team that seemed more invested, putting up a fight than the Hornets. Pritchard had another stellar game to finish out the season as the C's 6th leading scorer by average, 9.6 points a game. Svi showed why he was signed as an emergency backup to Hauser Insurance with 26 points and a cool 10 of 13 shooting and 6 of 8 from the land of plenty. And Nimi had a great send-off to Maine for their championship game with 19, 9, 1, and 6 blocks. I'm sure Celtics Twitter will work themselves up into a lather between now and game 1 against whomever on Sunday. I'll come back to 2 things. One I've said before, the other a quote. The Celtics have been consistently outstanding all year, but I believe they have another level of play that they have only tapped into occasionally, such as the thrashing of the Warriors in Golden State. Or I guess against Golden State. I was going to say, simply because they haven't needed that gear. I hope they open a throttle the throttle full like the secretariat running the Belmont Stakes. And rather than my usual close of Be Well, I'll close with the priceless words of Mike Orban. Go win this thing from RJ.
The greatest closing words ever. Literally him like I just love the shade that he threw, the way he said it.
Go win this thing, please. Just please. Just please, man.
Because I feel the same way.
Yeah. Go win this thing.
Just win it, okay. Then we can start appreciating like when they have like a good season. Because I'm so far deep of if they don't win, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to know.
All right, second email from RJ is sorry, I was checking something. Preseason predictions, prediction results. Evening, gents. Here's the tally of our preseason predictions for the regular season results. I highlighted 3 things: teams we picked correctly within the conference standings, green; teams that were incorrectly picked to appear outside of the top 10, red; and lastly, the play-in teams that were incorrectly picked to finish in the top 6, orange. Have fun reviewing them and arguing about who did better. I'm hyped for this. This is fun. I like this a lot.
I wouldn't have planned half the stuff we did today.
Shout out RJ, the GOAT, man.
I guess this can bleed into the standings check then.
Yeah, true. Let's do this as a standings check in. We'll bleed it in. We'll change it blue, and we'll do this as our standings check in here, or the start of it at the very least. Here we go. So this is RJ's first. RJ had, Boston correct in 1, Milwaukee correct in 3, Cleveland was 2, but they were 4. Philly and Miami he had in the playoffs, but they ended up in the play-in. And then Chicago he had in 12, who should be in the play-in. Same things with the Lakers. He had them outside, but they should have been in the play-in. He had Golden State and New Orleans in the playoffs when they should have been in the play-in, and he got Minnesota correct in 3. 3rd seed. Okay. Mine, not bad. Boston correct in 1. Miami and Philly 5, 6. They ended up being 7, 8, which I'll take. I got Toronto correct in 12, and I got Chicago. I had them missing out, but they should have been in the play-in. I got LA, Golden State, and Memphis way off. That's not very good. New Orleans wrong because they should have been in the play-in, but I got Utah correct in Portland. Actually, Portland should be up here. San Antonio was last, right? Or did Portland end the season? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, San Antonio.
Houston is not that low, but
too good.
Oh no, this is your prediction.
Yeah, these are mine. Here are yours. You got Boston correct. Miami and Philly, you had it 4-5. They ended up 7-8. Toronto, you got in 12. Look at us binking Toronto in 12. Yeah. You know, we know ball. You had Chicago way down. I think you had a similar issue as me. Golden State, LA, New Orleans. Did we guess Utah and Portland. We had the entire bottom of the West like exactly the same. Utah, San Antonio, Houston, Portland, which like close enough. And then we wouldn't have known that Memphis was gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no way for us to know that. So
It's true.
not bad.
That in
Not
Philly.
bad. Yeah, not bad at all. All right, let's look at the actual standings now. Because we do know the West. We just went over the East. So we're not gonna we can briefly go over it, but we know the Celtics are gonna play one of the 4 playing teams. Knicks are gonna play the winner of the first game. Bucks are playing the Pacers in the first round, Cavs and Magic in the first round. I'm so hyped for Bucks Pacers. Bucks Pacers is gonna be generational. It's gonna be so
Bucks,
good.
Pacers, and whoever the Knicks play. I just can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah. Oh,
This might be the biggest like prey on downfall moment of all time.
playoff basketball is so here, man. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful
not
time.
really.
Yeah, it is. Come on.
I can't concede. I can't. You asked me a week ago, I would tell you yes. Right now, no. I don't feel good.
It's great. Western Conference, Denver's gonna get either New Orleans or the Lakers. Whoever wins that game, OKC gets the loser of that, or Kings Warriors. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves are playing the Suns, and the Clippers are playing the Mavs. Very interesting shakeout.
There's been a lot of talk about this. A lot of talk about the Lakers losing on purpose because they don't want to. No, seriously. Like,
no, I've seen it.
A lot of people out there like
I'm laughing because it's Harrison.
Tanked? Yeah, well, Harrison was one of them, but even Bill Simmons was talking about it on the Simmons pod. He was like, "If I'm the Lakers, like, I'll play OKC. Like, OKC doesn't have any size. Like, we would dominate OKC." It's not wrong, but at the same time, would you really want to risk losing that second game in an anything can happen scenario with that one game playoff?
That's
no,
my thing.
Can't do it. Can't. Someone replied to Harrison in his Slack and sent him a shit post that was like,
yes,
if I'm the Lakers, I actually would lose both playing games. That way I can't lose to anybody.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Man, you can't risk it though, because the Kings or the Warriors could absolutely beat the Lakers in just a single game, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's one game. You cannot risk that if you're the Lakers.
You can't. I would love it. Lakers, OKC's a better matchup for you. You should tank. I would love it if they didn't make the playoffs.
It's gonna be crazy.
There is no chance in hell that Adam Silver allows them not to make the playoffs. But if they did not make the playoffs, that'd be electric.
Do you remember when LeBron was like, whoever made up the play-in should be fired?
Yes.
You know, every year since then, he's either made the play-in or missed the playoffs.
It's just the picture of the worst person you know made a great point.
LeBron has made the play-in every single season except one, and the one was when he missed the playoffs entirely.
Hell yes.
You like that? You fan of that?
Play-in merchant.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, exactly.
Is he the playing GOAT? Never lost a playing game, probably. Oh no, they did.
Has he not?
No, they did. They haven't lost. They've never lost a playing game, I don't think.
Never lost. Undefeated.
Because they were the 7th seed last year. The year prior, they missed the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And then the year before that, 2022, they were the 7th seed and they lost to Phoenix. No, 2021, they were the 7th seed. They lost to Phoenix. I'm getting it all mixed up now.
Yeah, you got me confused.
They have been the 7th seed twice.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Okay. I think you're right.
They missed the playoffs twice in the last 4 years?
No, just once. And they've made it out of the play-in all the other times. I think now you're confusing me. I think you're correct, but your level of confusion is confusing me.
Hold on. You know why I'm confused? Is because I'm taking this year and like starting from here. So I'm like this year, which is actually last year was 2023. So in 2023, they were the 7th seed and they lost to Memphis. In 2022, they did not make they beat Memphis. 2022, they did not make it. 2021, they lost to Phoenix.
Yes. Yeah. So they made it out of the play-in and they lost. then they're
back this year.
Yeah, and then they missed the playoffs and they're playing 2 years ago. Yes, I get it.
Do you think they went home on Sunday? Or did they just stay in New Orleans? Because they played New Orleans on Sunday.
It's true.
I would bet that they went home.
I think so too, but I think it's a genuine question. Like, there's a chance they might have just hung out, but yeah, I think they probably did go home.
Anybody that
Look at-
covers the Lakers, find
Yeah,
out.
let us know. Let us know. All right, next thing, Sam. I'm gonna let you lead this because your Pistons are making some changes.
Oh, yes. Pistons are officially back. They're getting it together. After a disappointing 14 and 68 seasons, the Detroit Pistons have decided to hire a new head of basketball operations president and will begin their search process this week, sources tell Shams.
Now,
Oh,
are they getting rid of Troy Weaver or just
I don't
adding
know.
on? You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
know.
It
I
was
should
phrased
probably
weird.
read more, but I don't know.
But because I think if they were getting Troy Weaver, that would have been in the tweet, right? Don't you like?
I also kind of think so.
But it was phrased weird. Like I get why it's hard to know because they didn't really. Did Shams write about it for the Athletic? Like, is there an article I can read? Do you know?
Let me go in my notifications and I will tell you.
Let me see.
No, just the tweet.
Loser, man.
Unless he did one and didn't share it.
What a bum. I don't think he did. I think he just didn't write anything.
Damn, that's a
know.
slap in the face if I've
Well,
ever seen one.
At the very least, we know that the Pistons are going to have a new decision maker because that's effectively what this is. Like,
Yes.
Brad Stevens is technically the president of basketball operations, but he is the decision maker. Arturius Karnisovas isn't like the president of basketball operations. He has a different title, but he is the head. Like, he makes the decisions. Like, it is basically just the decision maker, and they're going to have a different one in Detroit, which is probably
We're back. We're
needed.
back. Yeah. Watch out. Next
as
year's
much
the
as-
year. Next year they're getting out. They're making the plane.
You having a voice crack when you saying next year's the year is the most Pistons thing I can possibly say to
Give me
illustrate
a
that.
break.
that
This
sentiment.
is all I had to put my water in.
I think as much as I like to dog on the Pistons just to fuck with you, like there is no reason they should have been as bad as they were this year.
No.
There's no reason. It's like
I was not crazy at the beginning of the year. I think all of us had Pistons around that 11 spot.
I think Monty Williams was horrendous. And they can't fire him.
Yes.
And they're not gonna.
He
There's a
literally
report that
didn't
came
know
out that he's
Jaden
coming
Ivey
back.
was on the team. He was like, "Oh wait, who's this guy? I'm just
Dude.
gonna put him on the bench."
Man, the Pistons are a mess, dude. I don't know. The issue is I guess not the issue, but there's plenty of room for them to move up in the East, but there's also a lot of teams that are going to be moving up in the East. Like the Pacers, the Magic are on the up and up. I think the Hornets are probably going to win a little bit more next year. I think maybe not the Raptors. Maybe the Raptors are the teams that fall. But I think, who am I forgetting in the Eastern Conference? I think actually, I think there might just be a pathway because I think the Hawks are going to get worse. I think the Nets are just going to be bad again. I think the Raptors are probably going to be worse or still bad. I think the Wizards are going to be still bad. There's some room, I think, for the Pistons to climb up there. Maybe I'll be out on the Pistons
Watch
train
out.
next year, Sam.
Watch out
Maybe
for the
I'll be in.
Pistons. Painted
See
by
what
like a
happens.
Pistons hat or something.
Just wait till expansion comes around, and then Anthony Edwards is in the Eastern Conference. Be ready. Be ready, buddy.
Will it be that? Or will it be like Memphis?
I listened to Keith Smith and Trevor Lane on Front Office Show talk about this, and I think technically Memphis and New Orleans are further east, but Minnesota is so far from every other West team that it makes a lot more sense for them. Because Memphis and New Orleans
They're
are close to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so meanwhile, Minnesota is pretty close to Chicago, Milwaukee. So it's just you know what I'm saying? I mean, is that much better than John Morant or Zion realistic? You know what I'm saying?
Zion will just eat himself off the court.
It's true. And Ja will
You
do
saw
other
the
stuff
Pelicans
to
on
get
Sunday. They had no backbone for a big game. Lakers came in there, beat the piss out of them.
Zion did have a really good season, though.
In a must-win.
Did Zion surprise you this year, genuinely?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
Because he did
Speaking of,
the impossible. He was fat as fuck in the play-in semifinal, and then he came back and got in shape mid-season.
You mean the in-season tournament?
Oh, yeah, in-season tournament.
You confused me. I was like, the plan hasn't happened yet. Anyways, last NBA thing, short NBA segment. We did some standings.
Wouldn't it be funny if he just showed up to the play-in tournament fat as fuck after being in shape last week? That was like crystal ball.
What a mess. From Shams Charania of The Athletic, Giannis is at least out for game 1, correct, of the NBA playoffs.
He's not out yet,
unlike
he is doubtful. There is significant doubt.
So he's out. He's not playing. I don't think he's playing. That's disaster for the Bucks.
Maybe they're playing mind games with the Pacers. What if they're like? What if the Pacers put their guard down and Giannis is out there?
I think the Bucks would lose this series if Giannis was fully healthy, and so I think they're cooked. I don't
So
have any.
you think they're going
confidence
to
in
lose
the Bucks.
regardless?
Yeah, I think they're done. Dude, this Pacers team is 4-1 against them this year. They play quick. They have nobody to guard Halliburton. Like Dame isn't doing shit. They play too quick for the Bucks to keep up with. I think the Bucks are a mess, and I could be eating my words in a couple weeks. Like I'm not.
Just think about it. Just think like Milwaukee loses to the Pacers, and then the Knicks lose to whoever 7 is.
Well,
It might be the most wonderful time of the year.
I know you don't like the Knicks, but wouldn't it be technically better for the Celtics for the Knicks to win?
No,
Really?
because I don't want to hear about it, and I am the Celtics.
So if you are the Celtics, you'd rather play Philly than New York.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
You wouldn't rather play Philly than the Knicks?
No. I'd rather play the
Really?
Knicks.
The way you just talked about Philly at the beginning of the show, you would not rather play them than the Knicks.
Yeah, because Philly has the better player, regardless of what I think.
Okay.
I still think the Celtics
right.
would beat either team, but I think New York would be a far easier series.
I mean, Philly's Philly. Philly is always Philly.
Sure. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very low on the Bucks. I think they're the 4th best team in the Eastern Conference, and I think they're better. I think they're better than the Pacers, but I don't think they win the series, and that's stupid. But
not for nothing. Do we think the Pacers beat Philly in a series? They get out and run with Embiid in his knee?
No. I don't think they have enough defense. I think Milwaukee's offense is just messy enough.
You had to think about it. You had to think about it. You had to think. You're like, oh, he might get tuckered out.
I think we're gonna learn a lot in the first Giannis game, in the first game that Giannis plays, as to how much Indy's play style translates to the playoffs.
I need the Celtics to have a Mickey Mouse first round just so I can enjoy the rest of the games without being like, what about the Celtics? Like if they had Chicago, I could literally just sit there. Like it's the meme in Spider-Man where Harry Osborn is in the top balcony looking down at Peter Parker. That's how I'd look down at like Philly, Milwaukee.
If they get Chicago in the first round. Oh my
God. It's just DeRozan.
I'm just thinking about
DeRozan's daughter screaming.
I don't want to think about it too much because it's not going to happen. Anyways,
I need a Bulls win on Wednesday so bad. I'll have so much fun on the playback. I think the Bulls legitimately could upset one of those teams.
I know, because 1-game series.
Yeah.
Bulls are built for 1-game series.
I mean, did you see the Bucks on Sunday? Dame 2 of a billion.
Well,
shooting.
The issue is if the Bulls get through and then the Celtics lose a single game to the Bulls, you're pissed.
I will be pissed, but that's okay. Yeah. If that's the standard, if the standard is don't lose 1 game rather than I really hope they just don't lose the series.
Okay,
different.
Yeah, fair. All right, let's get into the rat list here, Sam. Would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, I'm gonna rat list Shams. First and foremost, I'm sick and tired of Shams. I hate Shams. I despise Shams. He is a loser rat fuck. Shams needs to stop reporting news in video clips to Twitter. Every time he tweets something and is like an update on an all-star and he just puts the video of himself, shut the fuck up. Nobody is following for you, respectfully. They are following for your information, and you need to type it out, buddy. Nobody wants to see you sitting there talking. I want to see, to my phone screen, update on Bucks star Giannis. Doubtful. That's all I needed. I didn't need to click the video. You know you're going to get it all playoffs because it's going to be like, what if Embiid's knee hurts? Is he going to play in the play-in? It's going to be Shams, his face talking. Shut up. Tweet the information.
Yeah. No, I'm in. I agree. My first rat list, excuse me. I'm trying to find the Google Earth. We're going to the VAR here.
Going to the roads.
So I'm going to take Matt off the screen briefly. I got you. So this is it. It was very brief, and it wasn't too much of a disruption, but it was enough of a disruption where I got mad. So as you see here.
Until you pulled up the parking lot. I was like, what the hell are
No.
you looking at in the parking lot?
This is the Dunkin' that I'm at. Now, this is an old picture, so it doesn't illustrate my point clearly. But you see here, Sam. What do you see here on the screen? Describe it for the people.
You got an arrow pointing forward on the right and an oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. This is the entrance.
Okay, so yeah, you have two arrows pointing forward. The one on the left does have a little bit of a hint of maybe also an exit.
They changed it, so it's entrance now. It used to be on both sides because over here they have the exit. You see, exit on this side because it's right after the drive-through. Enter on this side, and they change it. So this is just the entrance, and this is just the exit. Now, the whole purpose, Sam, is for when you get to the exit, which is up here. The whole point is this is a busy intersection, right? You got a big intersection right here, and you got to go in this way. The whole point of this intersection is so the people going right can have a free access out, regardless of the people going left. Some dumb motherfucker was going left and was in the right side. Get out of my way. I waited there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes waiting for this dude to turn left.
You should have just went on the left and turned right.
Dude, it was too late because I pulled out of the. Look how close the drive-through is. Like the drive-through's right here. I just barely pulled forward and I didn't realize what was happening.
Well, not only did he hold you up, but he held up the rest of the drive-through.
Exactly. We were just sitting there like idiots. And like I said, it wasn't like as long as it could have been.
Got a nice break though.
Yeah, it wasn't as long as it could have been.
Move up.
I think there's only one car behind me though, so it wasn't like too bad. But it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But I sat there thinking like, wow, this could be a lot worse. And you're lucky that the traffic cleared up as soon as it did because you're a dick. Like, are you stupid? What are we doing here? So
Ratless is my tailbone, man. I got kneed in the tailbone last Sunday during men's league, and it's not still significantly bothering me, but if I'm like sitting in my car for a long time driving like I was today, I'm feeling it. I feel my tailbone. It is making its presence known. Not a lot of fun. It's not crippling pain. It's nothing crazy. Just enough to be like, hey, remember me. So I've had it. I've had enough.
That doesn't sound fun. I'm gonna ratless men's league because not gonna be able to play again. Again.
Are certain?
Celtics play on Sunday.
What time is our game though?
I don't know, but I have press conferences and I'm at the arena. Like I just don't think it's gonna be.
If it's a 1 p.m. tip, and you are at the arena,
I think it's gonna be like a 3:30 tip. I don't think it's gonna be a 1.
If you're at the arena for a 3:30 tip, it probably will be done with everything by
if we have
7:30, 8 o'clock. There are times we have 10 p.m.
If it is 10 p.m.,
I'll tell you right now.
10 p.m. is like the only way because it takes me an hour and a half to get from the Garden there.
Okay, let me look.
So 10 p.m. is like the only chance I've got. And that would still be cutting it close because pressers are probably going to be long. 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
Yeah, I'm cooked. See, and it's like I haven't played in 3 weeks. This gonna be a full month of me not playing because 1 week was Celtics, next week was Easter, next week was a bye, and now this.
Yeah, we've had 2 buys. This is stupid.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm mad. I want to play. I'm gonna have my goggles by then too, and I'm not gonna be able to fucking use them. It sucks, man. I'm mad. Yeah.
Ratless is the NBA playoffs because I don't know when the fuck any of these games are,
and I'm not gonna be able to go the week after either, probably.
Yeah. Well,
I'll probably be on the road.
Oh, okay, yeah, you'll be on the road.
Yeah.
Well, that's different. But it's annoying because we don't know when any of these games are. And, like, those of you that listen, like, if you're a Celtics fan, like, yes, you want to watch the games, but, like, this is kind of a job for me and Jack's job, so we literally don't know when we're working. We don't, like, I cannot do things. I don't go out, not that I would anyway, but I don't want to go out, like, to watch a game with people because I gotta do all this, which I like to do. But it's annoying not to be able to, like, hey, do you want to do this? What day? This day. Don't ask me to make plans. Don't ask me. Playoffs, don't ask. I will tell you.
It's tough, man. It's so brutal. I don't want to rat list. It's not my mom, but it's something that my mom said that made me realize this is a rat list thing. So I want to clarify because she gets mad when she's in the rat list. But it's a rat list. It's a situation. Like, I was like yelling to my mom. I was like, Mom, I got to do this 1 sec. I'll be there. And she goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm interviewing something. I'm interviewing something for a story. And she goes, who? I'm like, there is no possible way for me to explain who I'm interviewing
Exactly.
to you without taking like 5 full minutes. And so again, not rat list my mom because she's asking me a question, like she's not on the rat list, but it's like, especially in this job, like people will try to ask me like, oh, what are you doing? If I tell you I'm interviewing this fucking random trainer who worked with this random coach 10 years ago, like you're not gonna have any context. So what, like, there's no point in but like, it's just like I freeze because like what can I say to you that like conveys what I'm actually doing right now? That's like
Counter
me
rat list
asking.
to this.
Yeah.
I hate when people tell me about people that I don't know.
Yes.
Like, don't tell me a story
Yes.
and tell me about Patrick. I don't fucking know Patrick. Don't talk to me like I know him. Be like this guy. That's all. That's all the context I need. Patrick,
Yeah.
Jimmy, Matt the Rat. It does not matter who it is. If I don't know them, you aren't adding nothing to the story. And
Yeah.
someone in the comments might be, well, they're trying to get you to know them.
Yeah.
Do I need to know
Unless
more
this
people?
unless this is somebody I will eventually meet or like have to interact with,
Sure.
then
Sure.
I
Yes.
don't need it. Yeah.
That's fine. But like, it is funny. Like, now that you mention that, I get who questions quite a bit. And it's like, you don't know. Even if
It's
it's not like
impossible.
some random development NBA coach like you're talking to, like just people you will never meet, guaranteed.
You don't know who I'm talking about, and there's no point in me like I got nothing for you.
That's a great one.
Right? It's just like
Yeah.
because I sat there for a sec. She goes, "Who?" I'm like, "You don't know, like you wouldn't know. I like I don't even know how to explain this. Like I got nothing. I can't.
My
begin."
mom is the queen of like the other aspect, just telling me stories about people I don't know.
Oh man. Ratless the Starbucks drive-through because I got flashbacks today. I go up to drive-through, drive up, and go, "Hi, how are you?" Long pause. Long pause, and they were like, "Oh, good," and they appreciated that I asked. But like, it's not like I can't not like leave the pause now. I have.
You know, Frank sent me the "How are you" video today, and I was like, I sent this to you when it happened.
That's a rat list. Yeah.
Now, I hate being sent links. If I cannot click on whatever it is I'm supposed to look at in whatever text thread I'm in, I'm not clicking it. Instagram, don't send me stuff. Not gonna read.
Yeah.
Not gonna look.
Yeah.
Girlfriend all the time. Instagram. I don't have Instagram. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look. I love texting, but I don't want to click your link. I don't.
It's tough, man. It's
Rat list, kind of. It is a complicated one. It's more of a good news thing, but also a little annoying. Rat/anti-rat, Childish Gambino. He's back. Did a stream last night, 11 p.m. Pacific time, which is rat list. Fuck Pacific time. Fuck you. Respectfully, RJ. He's coming out with a remastered, finished version of an album he came out with in 2020 that wasn't finished, I guess, because he thought everyone was going to die, so he just wanted everyone to have the music, apparently. But then he's going to also do another album, final album, along with a movie. So that'll be the soundtrack. It's about fucking time, dude. It's been 4 years. 4 years since I got new music. This is like the only person, like you, the way you feel about Noah Khan, the only person I would want to go see in concert.
No, I love Childish Gambino. I used to listen to him all the time.
We're back.
I haven't in a while.
We are so back.
Yeah, like Freaks and Geeks, goated. Bonfire,
Electric.
great.
Yes.
Great songs. Sweatpants, awesome.
I'm
My mom
very
just
excited.
my mom just texted me. Rat list, really? That's fucking rude. Was it a slow day?
It's always a slow day. Just text her back, be like, I don't leave the house. I don't go anywhere.
It's true. Anti-rat list, Matt, who did my haircut.
Sick. Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Looking
Every
fresh
time
for
I
the
go in there, I
playoffs.
see him. It's fucking great. I love it. It's good.
We
time.
should have low-key
Shout out,
did
Matt.
this later
Peace.
because I'm going to go to this Maine game and I'm probably going to have a couple things that piss me off.
It's all right. You can
Maybe you'll get a
do it
bonus
after
one in the middle of the
game.
episode then.
Yeah.
Maybe you already know.
That's all I got there. You got anything else for Rat list?
Ratless hotel rooms, because hotel rooms never have like a big light. They always have lamps and stuff. They never have an overhead light.
Mm-mm.
I don't like it.
Your lighting's pretty good though. It's not.
Well,
bad.
yeah, I got 3 sets of lamps on instead of one
Okay,
light.
Fair enough.
I had to put a lamp on over there. I have one over here, and then I have this one right here. So I have my face in the background lit, so I don't look like a ghost. That's the problem.
Respect.
At home, I don't use any
Right.
lights. I just use I have my laptop and I have my screen.
Yeah,
And my screen is my light.
fair enough. There you go. All right, well, I think that wraps it up. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to How About Them Celtics. If you're listening on podcast platforms, follow us on Spotify and Apple and leave a review. Leave 5 stars as well. We'd appreciate it very much. And go to Prize Picks. Use code CLNS for up to $100 deposit matching. All right, I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Hey, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with something new at 5 a.m., whether it's these pods Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays, game recaps the morning after each game, or something else in between. We will be here for you. So definitely hit the bell. We also have live streams, Talking C's, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Celtics Roundtable around 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, and pregame half hour before each game. This is the time. For all the content, it's playoff time. You want to be here. Spotify and Apple, we are there too. If you want the audio versions of pods and game recaps, you can follow us. They will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We would appreciate that. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com is the address. You can send us your thoughts on the team, rat list, whatever it may be. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Our Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can find our streams there, YouTube and Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at JacksMonNBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.